When we last left off, the crew of the Menagerie was making their way back to the first they were going back to the colony of the colony world of Pluvo, or the city of Pluvo on the colony worlds, to meet up with a contact known as ISIG, to deliver a message that they had done the job for him, and then eventually back to Patella to let them know in Patella that they did the job for them as well. Um, because this was kind of one of those shoelace things where it's like, do this, and then the person you got to do that with is like, well, do this, and then I'll do that. And we're kind of working our way back. When we last left off, you guys had just left Absalom Station and you were heading back. Um, who was flying the ship for you guys at this point?
I mean, it's been AL that's been flying
All
this
right.
entire time, probably.
So let's go ahead and get a piloting check to start then.
Okay. Let's see here. Do. Flying check. I do fly.
All right. Let's see how long this is gonna take.
That wasn't bad.
Let's see. And I'm trying to remember exactly if it was 1d6 plus 2 or if it was 2d6 or like a 1d8. Let's see. We're gonna say it's probably in starships. Rat. Rat. It's gonna be rat in here somewhere. Attacking, damage. That's not what I need. Gunnery, engineering. That's not where I need. Moving. Speed, hex. No, that's. This is all about like combat. So just to keep the pacing going, I'm just gonna say it's a 1d6 plus 2. So it takes you 6 days in drift. Um, you have 6 days in drift. Is there anything specific anybody is doing while you're in drift, or are you just kind of like, what is the montage, real quick here? Or what is everybody doing?
Well, Shuss has to take the bear and the panther back to AL at
Right.
least and be like, "Hey, you left this at the last place," and depending on who it is, that'll be a fun interaction.
Well, so it's it's Big Al, and you kind of catch him kind of monologuing to himself again. And it kind of feels like at this point he since he's gotten over the whole vomiting thing, he's kind of moved on to like talking about like the menagerie as if it's a person. Um, yeah, he's like the menagerie. Poor girl is lost out, being ping ponged around in a web of lies. No, I don't know how those keep getting in my room. Just put them far, far away from me.
Okay, well, I'll put him to work on the bridge then, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. They have jobs to do. And I'll take them with me and put them on the bridge and make them look like they're actually working.
I
Nice.
something not right with the captain. Uh, it's it's been a few days, and the captain's been acting kind of strange, frankly.
Nice.
Um, Other than carrying around these plush dolls and putting them to work, you could also say that she's been looking at me weird. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on her. Space sickness is a very serious deal.
What is E9 doing with their
E9,
time?
E9 is starting to settle in on the ship.
Hmm.
So what they're going to be doing is you know how each engineer or something will personalize their own workstations to make it
Hmm.
more convenient to them. E9 will spend most of their time removing the personalizations that are already there and start adding in his own.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. Maybe we kind of get a little bit of this, and as you guys are kind of like going through drift and whatnot. But you do kind of come out to the other side, and maybe we kind of catch like maybe we get that shot of the menagerie, like the dimensional door, the dimension opening up, and the menagerie sliding out as the rift closes behind. Just a slight glow, the glow of purple energy, kind of like coming from within. Um, and you see the planet in question, where Pluvo, like maybe we get the title card of Pluvo, and there's and like the planet itself, which doesn't have, it's still not like packed worlds level of like sort of like civilization in terms of like spreading across the globe or whatever. It's more localized, but there are a few towns. Pluvo City itself is the capital, where Governor Tobin Bilton is kind of like manages the burgeoning civilization there, the planet's business and what have you, and they've managed to stay neutral throughout like a lot of the political conflict and strife of the Tabori cluster, and what have you. And you guys probably get the hail on. You probably get the hail as you approach planet that comes in like it's like unidentified freighter. Please state your name and business.
Captain Chess of the Menagerie. Business, I don't recall. Deliver information, maybe? Yeah, let's go with that.
Well, you could always just say you'd always say like personal business or vacation or whatever. But like delivery,
Sir, I'm worried about our captain. She's been not acting very well. I mean, she's been playing around with plushies. I'm
I'm
really concerned about the behavior. I'd like to take her in to get her checked out, if you don't mind.
I'm sorry. Who am I speaking to?
I mean, it's her first maid, AL, and I've been quite concerned for quite some time now.
Please hold course. Maintain position. And you're waiting there for like a good 20-30 minutes, and it pops up on radar that there are a pair of interceptors that sort of fly up into range and take sort of position by you. There's like a there's like a hail, like a hail from back from ground control, like, yes, Menagerie, this is ground control. We've sent a escort to see you into to land.
Cool. I always
He's
wanted
like
an escort. Let's go.
like please have your ship's manifest ready. And but yeah, there's like maybe one of the interceptors like buzzes you like
You got all that chess. You got that all organized, right? We didn't lose that, right?
No, that's right. Yeah, right here. Got it.
yeah, they fly you down and like they escort you down and like you can't help but notice that like the interceptors kind of maintain like they don't land, they sort of maintain, and there is a group of people waiting for you. um you're used to seeing like your typical like customs inspection and whatnot coming into port. It's pretty much standard protection, standard operation wherever you go, that there's usually somebody there that's going to keeping a look for, make sure there's no you're not bringing any contraband in and this, that, and the other. But there's also like will look to be uniformed police or security individuals. There's a and there is like at the front of them like there's a like somebody who looks relatively like to be in charge of them. They have their weapons, like they have their weapons out and whatnot. It's like, please exit the ship in an orderly fashion with your hands high, no weapons.
So, it's Allie at this point.
Yeah.
So Allie comes skipping out with her plush toys, sees the weapons, and holds both plush hands up, and then like when that wasn't enough, just drops the plushes.
They're like, they immediately like they immediately send a couple of like the guy who's in charge immediately does one of those motions, like sends a couple of people over to like right to you and like, um, Captain Chess, we're gonna have to ask you. We're gonna have to take you in. We're gonna have to bring you in just for your own protection. Like there's a question as your mental health, but they're not actually like coming to you, Chess. They're coming to like Allie because Al's is fucking, the captain's been playing with plushies, and then Allie walks out with the plushies. So they go to like, ma'am, we're gonna have to ask you to come with us. We'll have we'd like to make sure that you're okay. Like this is for your protection as well as ours. And uh, they're like they like and maybe you've been like, you guys have been here before, like the local laws are essentially, yeah, a sidearm is okay, maybe a knife, but you're not allowed to carry heavy ordnance or assault weapons into the city. Kind of,
Mhm.
it's most places. This is pretty standard in most civilized ports because most places realize that they don't want their local police force to be completely outgunned by some, space drifters. Um, but yeah, like two guys
All
here
right.
and
Then while they're talking to Ale, I'll just kind of casually walk out and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
like, like, like they're like, you're gonna have to like, we're gonna have to ask you to stand over there, and like they point off to the side of the cargo ramp.
Okay, I gotta
Like,
stand over there.
like, and E9, if are you getting off ship too, or are you staying on
Yeah,
board? Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
I'll get off ship. I'll leave my rifle behind. I'll take
yeah,
my knife, but that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. They do the same with you as they did with Chess, actual Chess, and they're like, we're gonna have to have you stand over there, and Allie, they're like, first of all, the two guys that like came over to escort you, like grab like each of your shoulders and whatnot, and kind of like do that thing where like they're sort of moving you towards the group of the larger group of officers and what have you. If you
She
have any,
does it.
If you have
She
any
doesn't
weapons, they've
resist.
taken. Yeah.
She doesn't resist, but like she's confused and she's like looking back at the people that she's being dragged away from.
You're like,
Hey, give me a full report when you get done.
like Captain Chess. We have a lot of
I'll
questions.
do my best, Chess.
like they, they, they start looking at each other like, hmm. They're, they're like, we have somebody like, and there's somebody who's clearly like a social worker of some sort that comes over and starts asking you all kinds of questions about like um, sort of like the sort of questions that you'd ask somebody like when you're trying to determine what sort of mental illness they might have. Um, like they, for your part, Chess and E9, the like the one of the somebody who appears to be like second, somebody who's like where like got a data pad, kind of walks over with like one of the other officers and is like,
Mhm.
um, like I can I get the ship's manifest? We need to know, what your
Yeah, here you
yeah,
go.
yeah, and they're like the other officers like, which one of you reported that your captain was mentally unwell?
Oh, that was AL. He's kind of taking a nap.
So there's someone else on board the ship.
No, he's hibernating within the brain of that one.
Wait,
Hey,
what? So that one is Chess and AL.
no, that's Chess, and I'm Allie.
It's like completely fucking confused at this point. They're like, all right, we're gonna have to ask you, all of you, to come down to the station till we get this sorted out.
Okay, let's all go. Sounds like fun. Like a field trip.
Yeah, they take you down to the station where you sit there. Like they put you all in like separate cells, and they have people come in and talk to you, and it takes a while. Like it takes a few hours, but after I'd say an intense several hours and whatnot, you come out the other side with um, the like whoever they had in charge of the mental health. They're like they finally get it all straightened out, and the officer in charge is like, so Captain Chess, it appears that your android has multiple personalities, according to our according to our specialists.
Yeah, I think it's three at this point. That's all I've seen is three of them.
Do you have a mental health professional on your ship?
No, do we need one? I mean, he's kind of fun to hang out with. You just gotta follow the eyes.
You probably should have a mental health professional. You should probably make an appointment for your friend, for your android. I hear that on Abalon, or I hear on Abalon, the Pact Worlds, they have some pretty good. They do some pretty good work with AIs.
Alright, I'll add it to the list of things to do, I guess.
You never really committed any crimes that we know of. Just keep your nose out of trouble and keep an eye on your friend. You may want to be careful when you're talking to ground control if you intend to be flying around. He's,
I don't know, but it was entertaining, that's all I gotta say.
he's like, he's like, anyway, uh, you have a good afternoon, and if you if he says, mind the local laws, I gotta get back to work. And they kind of like show you out
All right,
the
bye.
station.
Thanks for the fun.
It's just
My girlfriend, hey, yo, well, that was fun. Let's do that again on the next one. I had fun with that one.
They seem nice.
Right?
uh, but as far as it goes, you are here to try to meet up with Isig and tell him that you got like the Paperleaf Tea Trading Company is open to doing some backdoor like trading with him.
Yeah, after we leave the station, I go, we know where his office is probably, so we
Yep,
go there.
the bulk face bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So we
mean,
head there.
before we head off, Allie points in the wrong direction, and then we cut to us moving.
Nice. When you get to the bulk face bar, it is much the same as you've seen it before. Um, you know, it looks like a spacer bar, and it looks like it was made, partially out of bulkheads and uh, other materials from starships or whatever, cobbled together with more traditional materials. When you get inside, of course they know the Menagerie and they know Chess here, and they know AL. Less familiar with E9, but
Mhm.
they it's a minute before like you're able to like what do you do once you get inside? Like in the past you've um, like talked to the bartender or Ulther if you can find him.
If I'm not mistaken, the past times though, I was Big Al
Yep,
or Alistar. This is
yep, you're
like
right. You're right. I think this is the first time Allie has been to the bulk face. To the bulk
I
face
say
bar.
we just go to the bar, get something to drink,
All right.
and ask him if they know where the dude is.
You get anything fancy or just like some beer or like mid grade, high grade, low grade? You drink wine, liquor. What
Um,
are you drinking?
Chess is okay with just a beer. She's
Yeah.
had her fun for the day. She's gonna do some calm down.
Like good beer or just some like or just kind of their beer.
Yeah, little good, but yeah, little good beer.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any of the rest of you?
I'll probably just have like a house special or whatever.
All right. So
Ellie will spend most of her time trying to sit the giant plush bear on the stool as it falls and slacks over, and she'll scold them the entire time.
nice. People look at AL very funny. They there are a lot of people that seem there are some people that seem slightly annoyed by it. Other people just kind of look over because there's the noise, factor of the oh, there's noise and movement over there. What is it? Oh, okay, nothing to do with me. But you dude, she does. AL does get some funny looks. Uh, E9 and Chess, both of you, Chess, you get like 5 credits, 7 credits for a decent beer, depending on how much you want to spend. E9, the house special for today um, is a like a whiskey sour type like
Hmm.
and it's it's like 8 credits.
Gotcha.
You're getting like a single or a double.
I'll get a single.
All right. Yeah. You kind of and looking around like the kind of people that you have seen in here before, Chess, Ale, basically the kind of many of most of whom look like they have nefarious plans and schemes of their own. Um, some of
I
whom look like
think
they may be looking for work in the criminal
if
underworld. Some just but they're all kind of there doing their thing.
if I may, they may have heard of Allie through the events of that crazy part where she was taken hostage and that whole debacle. That's the only thing I can think of as to why someone might know about Allie as a personality.
No, um, not at the moment. Nobody did like AL. You're only recognized in so much as the last time you guys came through here and
Gotcha. Gotcha.
talked to Isig. Um, Chess, you're slightly more recognized, mostly because you're a captain. Um, E9, this is I think the first time you've set foot in the bulk face, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken, in the bulk face bar. So these people don't necessarily know who you are at the moment. So they're kind of like mostly you get like the occasional look, but it's mostly because you're with AL and Chess.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, like this is a crowd of people that are like they'll pay attention to what's going on around them, but ultimately, if shit ain't their business, it ain't their business. So they're willing to mind their own. Um, you don't, Chess, you don't see Ulthur around here, um, which probably means he is not down here on the floor at any rate, because, I mean, Ulthur is a bear. He'd be noticeable. Um,
Oh, Allie will hand the panther plush to Chess and be like, "Take Shady with you. He knows his way around this place."
um,
Right. Because that's what I need to do. Is carry. Whatever. All right.
um, yeah, but there's
So I would probably ask the barkeep if there's a chance I could get a setup to talk to Other.
the author. Yeah, he's like, yeah, give me a second. And he kind of like turns around and goes to the cash register for a minute and makes some change for somebody, and he talks. It goes to the end of the bar and he talks to like a server girl that's really basically doing nothing. She's just kind of leaning there. And he's like, talks to her for a minute, and as he walks back by, he just kind of nods at you and continues serving drinks. Uh, if any of you pay any further attention to what the serving girl does, um, she kind of goes down, like she goes to the like downstairs level. Um, she looks around, goes down to the downstairs level, like the sort of private room, and come and it's a few minutes. After a few minutes, uh, Ulthur comes up the stairs, his massive bear frame, causing more than a few people to get the hell out of the way. Most of these people are tough, but Ulthur is a bear, and he's well known, and he's Isig's enforcer slash bodyguard. So, most people kind of get out of his way. And eventually, he kind of makes his way over to you, and he's like, oh, it's Chess. What can I do for you?
Oh, I'm here to inform you that, well, the tea trade company transport thing is all go for it.
He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, all right. He's like, you want to speak? And this is all in your head. He's telepathic. He's like, so imagine you want to speak with the boss thing.
Well, yeah. If you can get set that up so we could.
He's like, follow me then.
Okay. AL, you ready to go? Eternity, let's go.
Yep.
And
Eternity gets up, quickly finishes whatever he has left, and then gets up.
initially gets up to follow, but then turns around and drags the stuffed bear.
Okay, yeah. It's like you. So he leads you up the steps, and you guys kind of like realize that as you're going up, like this is. It's pretty well decorated. Once you get to the upper level, it's pretty well decorated and what have you. They go make your way to Isig's office. Ulthar gently knocks on the door, and there's a moment, and then eventually there's a moment, and the door opens, like electronic light. You hear like an electronic lock, like opening, like, and the door opens. Ulthar's like just kind of motions for you to go in.
Okay, so I walk in the door, and right inside the door, and I set the little plush panther down on the floor. All right, you chill here. I gotta go talk to him. And I go talk to
Well, as you guys walk in, we see Isig, who is a tiefling. He's dressed in a very nice suit, uh, and he does have like the red hair and the orange skin, like and sort of yellow eyes, and Crinville is standing next to him, who's also a tiefling of similar like skin and hair tone. And he wears his hair, whereas Isig wears his hair short, but with a very well cut and maintained goatee. Crinville Isaac wears his like that. Crinville wears his hair longer, um, and he doesn't wear a goatee at all, just the long hair. And he's dressed much as you remember, much more for a life in the open space or life in the space lanes than you know luxury. Wearing his armor and with his stuff at his side, his gear and what have you. Isig's like, and Isig, for his part, dressed extraordinarily flamboyantly. Like he's got his nice suit, but he's got he's got a jacket, coat hung over the back of his chair that's got some sort of like exotic beast's hide and fur. And he's got like very like and there's all sorts of like really nice artwork and various trophies around him, right, around his office. He's like, "Come, sit." He's like, "Captain Murgle." And he was like, "That's right. You were." He said, "So, how'd it go? Do I have some new friends that are a bit more, shall we say, legitimate than myself?"
well, yeah. Some people, yeah. We got
Huh.
some people on board.
He was like, and and maybe like there's a he's like so the when can I so what is the what's the arrangement then?
Wait, sorry, I'm out of character. I'm a little confused. What's being asked here?
It's not something E9 would necessarily know.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
But Chess, as a reminder, basically, Jala and Star Whisper told you that basically that space station you guys just freed that used to belong to the Corvassian Condor Unlimited, and now they own Corvassian Condor Unlimited. Their basic setup was that they wanted ISIG to, buy to go to Patella to move the weapons to the Corvassian Condor station, where it would from there be shuffled through the cycle with the paperleaf tea trading company so they could sell it in legitimate markets.
Okay. So I'm like, well, we talked to Jolin, and she wants you to move the product to Cabrassian. From there, it would then get distributed out wherever it needs to go.
So there is a
What?
so there's a drop point.
Yeah, there's this space station that was all janky, and we fixed it, and probably go take it there.
Do you have the coordinates for this station?
Yeah, right there. And I like hand him the coordinates that I have for where we left.
He's like, looks at it and he's like, very good. He says, well worth the effort and the time. And see, I actually was looking at this earlier, I think. Yep. So he's already paid you 4,200 up front. Um, and now you get the rest of the pay of the 7,800. So he's like he hands you like and instead of like transferring or whatever, he says, one moment and I'll have your payment for you. And he kind of like he buzzes a thing on his desk, and he's like, Arthur, if you would, the bring the payment. This will take a few minutes. And he's like, would you care for some Arsaline nectar in the meantime? It's quite good, very dramatic. I do believe that at least 100 slaves died just to get the nectar off world.
Well, it better be good then. I just
He-
try some.
yeah, he pulls
I'm,
out
I'm
like
sorry. 100 what now?
slaves. Because right
Okay.
now you guys are out in the vast, so
Right.
there's no overall like government, and it's like, and he's a criminal, so
Mhm.
it's like, I don't know where I didn't ask a lot of questions as to the circumstances of the death of these slaves or how exactly it factored into getting it off planet. The merchant, the individual who provided me with the dozen crates of it that I have, it would preferred to only speak of these things in vague terms for probably good reasons. He just kind of smiles, and he
Sorry.
he's got like a crystal decanter, and he pulls out like several glasses. Like actually, he walks over to like he's got like a little wet bar on his wall, pulls out the crystal decanter and some glasses, and pours a little bit in each one, like maybe a third of a cup, and brings them over to you guys. He pours himself like a full cup. I mean, it's his, so he can. But he's like, it's very, very sweet. It's got like, it's very sweet, and it's got like um, just the slightest of sharpness to the taste. Um, almost like if you took the sharpness of cinnamon and added it to like a really sweet fruit nectar, um, but like when it goes down, like you feel like your entire esophagus like get a cooling effect. Not like, bad cooling, but like, you know, kind of a good cooling. Almost like drinking like really cold water after you've been like dehydrating for an hour in the hot sun.
E9. Oh, sorry. E9 will not be participating in the drink.
Okay, yeah. Um,
You don't
Allie,
want yours, I'll have yours. This is good.
Allie,
Uh,
does Allie drink some?
Uh, Allie is too little to have a drink.
Ah, okay, yeah. So that's not a thing that like physically doesn't look it, and certainly as
Physically doesn't look it, but
yeah,
personality is like,
yeah,
yeah.
and Isig probably wouldn't necessarily know this either. About the like personalities or whatnot at this point either. So, well then, perhaps then the next he says, and there's a he kind of looks at you, the two of you that aren't partaking. He goes, no, shame then. He goes,
Well, maybe Shady in Hollywood, and indicates to the stuffed bears and plush panther.
he goes, and they perhaps might not want to spend a lot of time cleaning this out of their fur.
Oh, you're right.
He kind of
That would make a lot of sense.
Crinville, for his part, rolls his eyes because it's clear that this is like a thing. Like, if you had to read anything here, Chess, it's pretty clear Crinville's not hiding the fact that this is sort of like Isig's thing, is the fact that he's just really like friendly to people, and apparently that's part of like, but obviously if he's a crime boss, which he is, there's probably more than just a nice guy facade. Um, but it's a few minutes while he make like I think probably Isig asked you about like your trip to the Packed Worlds and asks who won like some sporting event or what's big in the box office theaters there, and the kind of small
I
talk.
I go in during the small talk. I go into the whole thing that we had fun with the local cops here just for entertainment.
Yeah, he kind of he loves that. He gets a hell
Yeah.
of a laugh out of that. He gets a hell of a laugh out of that. He's like he and he's like, yes. He's like, Tobin. He's like, Tobin Bilton's finest security officers.
Yeah,
He kind
but
of
we wasted their whole morning just with useless crap that they're like, oh, you need to do this. They're like, whatever, let's waste your time.
he's just like, it's like, I don't have anything against uh, Governor Bilton or in particular, or even individually his officers, but they do make it difficult to do business from time to time. And he goes, and he kind of chuckles. He's like, I'm glad someone was able to give them a hard time today. My own people are far too busy to give them the runaround, as it were. He's like, and maybe after a few minutes, like the Ulthar comes back and he's got like a case, like a big, like embellished, like really, like it's made out of like high density, like material, like you'd make armor out of and whatnot. I mean, he's like, and Ulthar brings it over and sets it on the desk, and then steps back, and he's like, and crosses his arms. Isig himself comes over and he looks at the case, and he takes his ring and like presses that up against like a little screen, and the and then steps back. The case opens slowly, and you see like some credit chips inside. You see, in fact,
Ooh.
seven, you know, fancy looking credit chips in there, or yeah, I believe it's is it 7,800. So I guess it'd be eight. It's like it's like the one all the way on the end with the little fire design. That's the one that's the 800. The rest of these are chips in the denomination of 1,000 credits. Feel free to feel free to test them and make certain they are exactly what they are. They are exactly what I say they are. Submit your payment otherwise. And, what'd you say?
How would you check them?
He's like, why wouldn't you? I always check it when I do check the credit chips when somebody does business with me.
Or I pick one up and bite on it. I don't know.
He's gonna.
Ping pong.
I. I.
I trust you, dude. Really, I really do. But okay.
I was gonna say. I imagine you could probably like take it and like stick it in a. He's like stick it in a computer and like just to read what's the balance on it.
Yeah, I don't have a computer on me, but all right, I trust you, dude. I really do, to be honest.
It's like, and he kind of smiles and he's like, "I'll remember that." Crenville just he says his whole reaction. Um, he's like he's like, uh, well, I'd love to stay and do and visit a bit more, but I do have a bit of business to take care of before the day's in. You're more than welcome to spend a few of those credits down at the bar if you would, or if you wish. Otherwise, I do believe you'll need to, uh, at some point at least, go back to Patella and tell them about and let them know about the arrangement.
Yeah, that's
uh,
probably our next destination. But hey, it was fun. Thanks. And then takes the money.
yeah, he kind of nods. He goes, "I may have further jobs, some further business for you down the road." He's like, he's like,
Well, one of you three have my number, so if anything comes up, let me know.
yeah, he's like, well, I think you probably didn't you exchange numbers with him when you took this job?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, okay. And he's like, it's like, right then he goes, um, and maybe Ulthar like opens the door and like gestures. It's like, right then, meeting's over.
Yeah. Alright,
Okay.
you're a fun bear. Oh, can't forget
Bye.
my panther. As I walk out.
he, yeah, he,
Waves at the crime boss and goes out the
he
door.
dies. He kind of waves back, smiles. Crenville, you can feel the face palm that's going on in his mind. He just he's that look of, damn it, really. But yeah, you are you have completed the job for Isig and have a favorable reputation with him at this point. You are on in Pluvo City, so you have the capacity to do some shopping if you wish, take in some sights or entertainment. It's not the packed worlds. A few of the no, some of the movies aren't as current as what you might have been able to see about 8 or 9 days ago. in the Pact Worlds. But you know, hey, it looks like the joyless posting is on is also on a second or third run in some of the theaters here. The story of a steward's agent who gets posted someplace incredibly like boring, and then it gets dangerous and interesting because that's kind of how plot works in movies. But it's a film that was made and produced, by like a Pact Worlds media company, starring like one of the premier actresses off of Versailles, who strangely has rumored to have had a past relationship or association with the pirate captain Shaba Yan, but formerly of the Fire Strike.
Interesting. That could be a fun movie. What do y'all want to do? Thinking about just going back to the ship and inserting credits where they belong. I don't know.
Yeah, there's also the
Well,
process
why
of
don't we?
paying everyone.
What? I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing a movie. I haven't seen a movie in a long time. The last time there was this man, and he was telling his woman to get on that dragon, and they were saying goodbye. It was an older film.
Nice.
Uh, Sorry, out of character. I have a little bit of a stomach ache. I'm gonna be back as soon as possible.
Okay. Yeah. So it'd be like about it'd be if you guys go to the movies, it's probably about 15 credits a piece. Um,
Well, you're the younger one. I guess I'll pay for you and I to go see the movie. You cool with that?
All right.
yeah. Um, as far as movies go, it's about a 3 hour epic, and it's as far as Hollow movies go, it's a pretty good one. You can see why it was in the process of winning some awards when the Holovid Awards got shot up. the Strangely by the crew of the Fire Strike with Shabayan. um, but the uh, but it's a really good movie. It's a long epic. You know the Avitai does a command does a amazing job as the main character in the movie. The the effects are pretty good. The pacing is great. There's just like a whole thing. It's one of those. It's like you laugh, you'll cry, you'll you'll stand up in your seat and jump for joy. It's kind of deals. Like there's um, but all in all, it's a pretty good movie. There's been rumors for about a year and a half. There's been rumors for about a year that they were going to make a sequel, but it hasn't come out yet. um, hasn't been confirmed. But there's plenty of other things to do here. There's still like
What was a
parks and
notable
shopping.
twist in the plot? Just
The
throw out a
notable
random.
twist, the notable twist in the plot, the notable twist in the plot was that that of the character Avita plays was sent here not as punishment as she first thought when she got to the outpost that she was set up in. She was actually sent there because the commander that sent her there knew some shit was up and knew that she had specialized talents that might help that might be useful, but more importantly, had a personal connection with the enemy that even she didn't realize she had.
Okay, so on the way out, I'm like, Chess, I don't understand. How did she know that those guys would be there?
Right?
I don't think she specifically knew that her supervisor, maybe. I don't know. It was kind of confusing me too.
It was cool looking though.
Yeah, yeah. I, I enjoy. It was a very good quality movie.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
But yeah, so you are on planet and you have a good deal of you have a lot of you still have a lot of money to disperse.
Sure.
So we take the money and be like, all right. So there's three of us plus the ship gets money. So
Well,
I
there's
why
mean,
that?
Zed
there's more than
also.
yeah. There's
Yeah,
Zed. There's
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 two more.
Ogle Hop.
So there's six.
and you guys
Yeah,
had noticed, and you guys had noticed that somewhere on the trip, Ohan had disappeared. You're like,
it happened again.
yeah, you're starting to, yeah, it's one of those where it's like, God damn it, people are appearing and disappearing all over the place.
We don't have a plush of him, do we?
No, not yet.
Yeah, you couldn't tell exactly what race Ohan was, even. I'm not sure even E9 knew.
I don't think I did actually.
Yeah, because I don't think that was ever like anything Ohan revealed anywhere.
Hmm.
But yeah, um, but yeah, how are you guys gonna divvy up this 7,800? Are you gonna do it even shares for everybody? Are you gonna add a share for the ship? Are you going to
It
Only
would
share for
be
the ship.
yeah. It'll be even between everybody, and the ship is considered a person.
okay? So just it's a base split on shares rather than percentages. So yeah, okay. Go ahead
Yeah.
and make a note that you have in your. Go ahead and add that to your to wherever you've got your notes for how much money that the ship has.
Hmm.
Okay, so for 7,000 divided by six. Yeah, six. So we all get 1,300 plus the ship.
Wait. Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
there's
Okay, that
six.
makes
Wait, so it's AL
7,800.
E9
Mm-hmm.
Chess the ship Zed Oglehop. So yeah, it's six, right?
So 1,300 then.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Make sure you add that to your ship's credit, the ship's share to its credits, which you have in cargo passengers, I believe. And
I do
then
not.
Yes,
I do not have
I
it
got it.
written out. Ah, okay, gotcha.
I got the ship. I'm captain.
let's see. I'll need to.
Base now is 1,000 what?
300.
100.
Oops. Yep. Oops. Yeah, but that's wrong.
Easy enough.
There we go. Alrighty.
Now, if either of you all want to go have fun and buy upgraded armor or weapons or any other fun stuff, go ahead and do so before we leave to our next destination.
Not a bad idea. And out of character, we can go one level up or two levels up. I can't remember.
It
Up
was
to
two, if
two.
I'm not mistaken.
Up to
Yeah.
two. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-mm.
And I went ahead and added Zed's share to his character sheet.
Awesome,
That
awesome.
way we don't just forget about it and then he doesn't get
S-
paid.
Surprise! You got money.
Surprise! You're twice as rich as you were when you left. All right.
It sounds to me Zed and Oglehop are hanging out together now.
Well, I don't know that that's. I don't know what Zed's doing specifically, but Dr. Oglehop is probably in the lab doing stuff.
Okay,
Um,
Oglehop.
but
Alrighty.
yeah,
Shopping time.
I'm going to be doing any shopping. Not yet, anyways.
I'm gonna hold off on that.
Yeah, I'm
Well, I
not
mean,
high
we
enough.
just got new items too, didn't we? Like, we just
Yeah.
picked up a
Yeah, I
bunch
was
of new
gonna
items.
say.
Did we want to sell anything, guys?
Um, nothing. I guess I could sell my second skin, but that won't sell for much.
I'm gonna say you put
I think
either.
I'd rather just deconstruct it.
All right, you get 25% of its base cost back in UPBs.
Alrighty. Okay.
But if you guys have no further business, then um, find out where you guys are heading next, and then get a piloting check together.
Well, I was going to see what Oglehop is up to.
I think Oglehop is pretty much. He's basically just kind of in the lab doing. Let's see. I want to look at something here. What kind of lab does the Menagerie have?
We have a science lab and a tech lab.
You know what he's.
It's a physical and life science. It's a general science lab.
Alright. I think it makes sense that he's probably like studying specimens in the science lab at the moment. Like he doesn't have enough UPBs to be building anything at the moment, I don't think. So he'd probably be. So he'd probably be like looking at and probably like um, just super amazed by whatever he's looking at too. I would imagine.
What's
Like,
that smell?
ugh.
Ogle.
Well, it's
Dr.
like
Oglehop?
it's like this it's like this fungus, man. I was like researching, but it's like kind of it's got some interesting properties. Like if you brew it as a tea, it could be like really, really, really nice and help you like mellow. But like you don't want to inject it into your veins. That's a bad idea. But it does
What?
smell kind of funny.
What? Why would you inject it in your vein?
I don't know, man. But I heard somebody did that and they wound up in the hospital and like nearly dying, like for days.
Huh? Okay. I'll try to avoid needles around that thing.
Yeah.
So we got the credits.
Whoa, right on.
What are you gonna do with your share?
I don't know yet. I mean, I'll have to think about that.
Well,
I mean, we probably need some more fortunate trinkets. I mean, we're always out of cereal around here. I don't know who keeps eating it all or hiding it or what they're doing with it, but we don't have enough.
oh, right. The cereal. Right. Um. Well, if you just excuse me, I really gotta go. Uh,
I love that implication. Um, yeah.
Yeah, think I'm gonna I'm gonna. I just realized. Hey, Chess, Chess. Why didn't Ollie and Shady get a share? They're not even wearing armor anymore.
The bear doesn't need armor. It's got natural armor. Um, theirs is on the ship log. It's all part of the same thing because they're part of the ship. I don't know,
Whew.
but
I
that would
mean,
mean you get less, Allie. So
I watched I watched a show once where a guy became a part of the ship. Literally. I mean, he died. Cause I mean, you can't have like your molecules and metal molecules like mixing together like on an atomic level just doesn't work. Just like
Could
you
oh
die.
sorry. Could you not simply upload your consciousness? Feel like that is an easier solution than trying to physically become part of the ship.
Well, like we're not all like androids and SROs.
I suppose that's fair.
It's like, Suds, if you talk about something like that, I mean that's the brain guy might know that stuff. The floaty brain guy, Arrow. He's like, yeah, he's just like, I think he probably like, yeah, he's just kind of like working in the lab. And it's just like,
Gotcha.
yeah,
you're telling me that because they're lazy bums, they're staying on the ship and they don't deserve armor?
well, they didn't have armor before because they had their natural whatever, right?
What if the ship gets boarded?
They'll claw at them and whatever and bite at them. They know how to defend themselves. They've done it before.
Listen, if you're not gonna take care of them, I'm gonna have to do it. It's just, it doesn't make sense that they work just as hard as the rest of us, right, Oglehop?
he's like, wait, who works hard? Like he's completely lost in this discussion. He's like, hey, by the way, did you know that there are properties to those little flying lizard things on Patella that are really reminiscent of like some prehistoric animals on like worlds across the galaxy, like known, like they're the genetic markers and patterns are there. I'm telling you.
Do you desire to study them more? We could go back. Don't we have to go back there anyway? Yeah,
Yeah.
We do.
you can study them more when we get back. Okay? So you can more finite that research of yours. Okay? Okay.
Like it's like whoa, yeah. And then maybe we could collect like some sample DNA from like some saurian creature somewhere. For control
Some
purposes.
what? Where are they at?
I don't know. I mean, like, there's plenty of worlds with dinosaurs on them.
Dinosaurs?
Yeah, dinosaurs, saurians.
So, do the specimens have to be alive, or can we just shoot them in the head and then bring back the sample?
You don't shoot dinosaurs?
Like, well, I mean, it's kind of a. It kind of depends on, like, if you have some kind of container to a specialized bio container to haul something back? Because it's gotta, if it's dead, it's gotta be like, you know, recent, like freshly dead. I mean, if it's too long dead, I can't. I mean, yeah, he kind of like shrugs. Like, I mean,
So, there was a point that we were supposed to have a certain thing for certification regulations on the ship. I can't remember what that was, but
It
it
was a
was
cell. It was a cell. To
well, it was,
transport like captives. We needed some sort of way to
yeah, it was
like
the
med
Marixa
spec or something
Republic.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're going to go to the Marixa, if you're going to like do any bounty hunting in the Marixa Republic or what have you, then you have to have a license for transporting prisoners, and you have to have a
yeah, we
facility.
have that. We
But
have
you
that
don't.
license. We just have to get the
Yeah, you have to get a brig.
facility up.
Yeah, you have to get
Yeah.
a brig on your ship, which is going to be come when you like get when you your average party level increases and your ship can go up.
Okay.
Yeah. However, I think Doctor Oglehop's like, so like, what are we waiting for? Like, I mean, if we're gonna like look at some get some research for some tiny lizards and then like some big lizards. Well, they're not technically lizards, but you know what I mean.
You need to put away your stinky mold.
He's like, yeah, he's just kind of like, he's like, he kind of looks around. He's like, well, like, you need to like go fly the ship. 'Cause, I'm not the one who flies the ship. Like, sooner we get out of here, the sooner like we can. It's not me. It's like,
How how can I fly if it smells like something died on the ship?
well, then maybe have our mechanic like fix the air filtration systems. You shouldn't be able to smell it on the bridge unless there's something wrong with the environmental controls.
I'll at that jab, I'll say, I will fix up the problem should it arrive, or should it arise.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to go. The rest of y'all ready to go?
I do believe I am.
Walks off.
Yeah.
Okay, Allie, go hop in your seat and take us to what? Patella? Let's go there. That'll be fun.
All right. Let me get a piloting check again then. An E9. As near as you can tell, the environmental controls are functioning just fine. And Chess AL, you actually can't smell the fungus on the bridge. Only if you go down into the science lab or close to it.
All right.
Was
So, what do you think of Red?
9 days. So,
Chess?
Red? Who?
Yeah, the guy with the pointy horns next to Grinville that offered us a drink.
Oh, the weird one. Whatever. He's kind of emotional. It's like he knows him quite well, I guess.
Um, and Allie's voice changes for the first time, and her eyes stay the same. And she says, "I don't trust him."
I don't think I trust him either.
he has
All right.
he is a
Well, I'll
crime
make
boss.
note of it.
He's a crime boss, so
I do not trust anyone who is okay with slave labor.
Well,
Yeah,
people have to make money somehow.
And you're okay with owning other sentient creatures?
Well, I'm not going to own them, but if they make their business thrive by it, who cares?
he makes
Uh,
me uncomfortable.
uh, at this point, I'm almost ready to start pulling out my gun and start shooting. Uh, Eternity 9 is visibly extremely angry upon hearing this.
well, remember, he didn't say he owned slaves. He
Sure,
said
but
he
sure.
bought it from he bought it from somebody who told him that a bunch of slaves died getting it off world.
Sure, sure. But like the idea of being okay with slavery is almost as maddening as the act of owning slaves themselves.
Right. No, no. No. Uh, like,
Well, the galaxy's a big place, and we can't regulate every little finite detail through the whole galaxy.
Just because it's not regulatable doesn't mean it's okay.
I just, I don't.
and he also never said he was okay with the slavery either.
I mean, it was pretty obvious by his the
Yeah.
casual tone. Um, if he wasn't okay with it, I think it would be a lot more obvious. Or maybe he wouldn't necessarily disclose the fact that slaves were involved.
Hmm.
Either way, I think it's pretty clear that he was okay with slaves, even if it wasn't explicitly said.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
just, he just reminds me of someone I don't want to talk about.
Huh.
At this point, I think E9 is going to storm off to his room and uh, think about his options at the moment.
Right. Well, it takes you 9 days to get to Patella.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get there, the space station that was being constructed is in a little bit greater, a little bit more together than it was before. Um,
Just to be
you
clear, that voice, like quickly as that seeming personality change without the eyes changing, it just goes back to normal. Like she's just her happy self again.
Okay.
ah, I think I think the like you get to Patella and if like you're on file, like the menagerie is on file, so like essentially as soon as you get like close and whatnot there you're hailed like like uh this is ground control to the menagerie.
What? Sorry.
Ground control to the menagerie. Come in.
Yes. What's up?
What brings you back to Patella?
Research and development? I don't know. Doctor
Like,
said the lizard sounded cool.
it's like, all right then. Well, it will direct you to a docking pad shortly. And he's like, just curious though. Why did your answer sound like a question? Pardon.
I don't know. Last time I came to a planet, I had fun with them.
He's
Just trying to be straight with you.
like, all right. Well, And he sends you, all right then, and he like sends you coordinates, and like the sort of like information from ground control to where to land. Mhm. Yeah, maybe we get the shot of the menagerie landing, and kind of like we see it's like the title card. We see like the city sort of like as you're landing and whatnot, kind of that overhead shot. And the title card it says New Bluff Point. Um, and as you guys kind of land, and then we get like the jump cut to you guys sort of like the cargo bay door coming down, and you guys like coming out and what have you.
Back in solid ground. Yay.
Yeah.
What mood is E9 in at this point?
A little unhappy. He's been sitting on this new information about his captain for a while, and has not really resolved this with himself yet. Definitely still stewing about it.
Right on.
It's not as outwardly obvious, however. It's more internalized, but there's still like uh he won't be chipper or happy or anything. He's just uh kind of like a sulking kid.
And it was like, all right,
Do you think
yeah.
do you think Allie would notice if I were to uh like at all, just in general?
I mean, it depends on uh how perceptive Allie is, and but I would guess based on her or on my interactions with her, I would say yes. I would say yeah, Allie can notice pretty with little effort.
Hey, E9, you okay? I brought Ollie and Shady.
Hello, Ollie. Hello, Shady. Hello, Allie.
Hi.
Uh,
Um, they
sorry.
usually keep me company when I'm feeling down. If
Uh,
you'd like, they could keep you company.
I think that would be very nice. Thank you.
Here you go. Now you two be nice, okay? I don't want to hear any complaints when I get back.
I'll pick up the plushies out of Allie's hand and give him a few pets, and then sit them on my shoulders.
Right on.
Uh,
All right.
Allie, you must. I hope you know that owning a living being, a an intelligent living being, a sentient one, is not something that should be done.
An intelligent being? Like,
Like one such as you or me.
I don't like being told what to do.
I'm sure you do not. What if you had to do what someone else told you to do for your entire life?
Well, then I wouldn't have a hologram dinosaur on our ship, and that wouldn't be fun.
It would not be fun at all. And this is the plight of many who live in the galaxy. They are called slaves. You must never own a slave, Allie.
Okay. Um, Ollie, you're free.
Oh, that's great.
E9 will definitely smile and give that a little chuckle.
Okay, good.
And then E9 will probably uh, cheer up after that just a little.
So, yeah, I guess I'll get off the ship after that, and I'm
Yeah,
sure.
All right.
and then I'll follow pretty quickly.
You'll find Ogle Hoff and be like, hey, Wait, why would I find you? We're gonna go find some lizards, just so you know.
Yeah, he's like, lizards? What are we looking for lizards for? It's been 9 days and he's in the drip. He's had plenty of time to space this shit off.
Well, I'm gonna do it anyways. Let's go find some lizards. Maybe you'll
Sure.
remember.
He's like, sure, okay. Um, you also, like Chess, you would know that as far as it goes, so the original job was Crenville wanted you to like set up being able to run guns. If you're gonna be getting weapons from Patella, there are two contacts here that you could potentially talk to that about here in New Bluff Point. Chorus, who is the Grand Regent, um, and there's also the well the current primary weapons manufacturer Elgas.
Oh, um, let's see. Who should we talk to? Let's go talk to Elgas first. That'll
All
be
right,
fun.
all right. Well, it's not hard to find Elgas. He's one of very few people living in the original base that was carved into the side of a mountain. He has a workshop there. Uh, when you get there, there's security measures to go through, but you finally find yourself in the room with Elgas. And Elgas is, or at least was, a Vesk and is now a Bore, um, a mostly undead Vesk. Uh, and you can tell, like E9, you can tell that he went the route of the exocortex. He is a mechanic through
Hmm.
and through and went exocortex. And he kind of like, when you guys get that, like, are finally let through, he's like, kind of like turns around, he's like, and he's in his workshop. He probably like waves like a hand at you from like his with his back to you. He probably just kind of like puts a hand up, like, I know you're there. Give me a minute, you know.
Hmm.
And after a couple minutes, like he turns back around to you. He's like, "What can I do for you?"
So we want to do what? Weapon distribution funness. Um, and you make good weapons, probably. I don't know.
He goes, he kind of chuckles and he's like, "Remember, Chess, you and AL have armor that he built. It's stylized and everything. It's Captain Zai original armor, but it was built by Elgas."
Yeah. So
Like it's stylized.
yeah.
It's like he kind of looks at you and he looks at your armor and he's just like, and he goes, "I do make weapons and armor well enough. I am part of the I am the head of that particular operation. Weapons distribution. Selling weapons.
Yeah. I mean, it would bring money to the planet and communications to the planet. We're just trying to get you on the same page of trying to do that. We got other people to talk to get this rolling, and we just wanted to talk to you about it as well.
Who are we selling weapons to?"
Free wine.
What?
Did I say something wrong? Everyone!
Everyone. He kind of smiles at that. He goes, "Well, the king would love to sell weapons to everyone, but the Pact Worlds sanctioned us. We can't sell to anyone in the Pact Worlds or who does business with the Pact Worlds."
How about to the the paper leaf tree trading company? What if we sell it to them?
He raises an eyebrow, like a brow ridge. How would we manage to go about selling weapons to one of the most well-known tea trading companies in the Pact Worlds?
Well, they need weapons to defend themselves, don't you think?
I'm not questioning that they would have need for weapons so much as how we would sell to them without them facing legal consequence. This would be where Isaac comes in, but he didn't.
It's like, well, we could use Isaac. He'd
I
probably do it.
Isaac.
Oh yeah,
Mm,
he's in with them now. They kind of got a route thing of distribution, and we go through him, give guns to him, and he distributes it to the tea company. Maybe I'm not sure how that works.
And then hopefully at some point they'll end up in the hands of slaves that have guns, and everybody's happy because everybody has a gun.
he kind of looks at you, and he looks back at. He's like,
And then like
"That's
gives like a
not
thumbs
ex."
up to like E9.
He's like,
like
E9 gives a solid thumbs up back.
he's like, "While I would hope for slaves to be given weapons, I'm not entirely certain that's. Let's focus on the selling of the weapons to Isig first." He goes, "So you're suggesting Isig is the go between? That they have a deal worked out where if we get them to Isig, Isig gets them to them?"
Yeah, something like that.
He kind of thinks about it and he kind of scratches his chin. He goes, "Hmm. Well, the king would definitely be interested in such a deal, but the king isn't here. Last I heard, he was busy. You'll probably need the regent to sign off on this, although Chorus doesn't exactly like that title. It's the one that was sent back to him, so he'd be
Well,
the.
that was our next stop after. We figured we'd talk to you first. You're the one that's going to make them. You should know what you're making them for, I guess.
Clear it with Chorus, and if the regent says we're a go on on the operation, then I suppose I'll start getting prepared for this."
All right. Well, we'll be back after we talk to him then.
And Elgas, for his part, he's wearing like a necklace and what have you, and he seems a bit like there's a very cold and hard, something cold and hard about him. He does seem like um, he's polite, but there's something about like at arm's reach that he seems to deal with you at. But yeah, he kind of like nods. It's like, "If you'll excuse me, I have some designs to go over."
Okay, we'll be back, and then we go and talk to the regent.
Talk to Chorus. It takes you a while to track him down because Chorus is everywhere. He's very much a hands-on kind of like guy. He's a leader, not a manager. So
oh yeah, I saw him like 5 minutes ago. Like you just missed him. God damn
exactly,
it.
exactly. You get that a lot. You're like, "Oh, he was here. he was here about 15 minutes ago. He helped us shore up that side of the wall. No, he was here 15 minutes ago. We had to get an approval on the new junction for the sewage system, waste disposal. Oh no, he was over here 5 minutes ago, or he was here 30 minutes ago. He was helping fix a hover tractor in the field over there. Eh. Like that kind of thing. But you do eventually catch up with him, and he seems to be like in the mode of momentum. Like you can imagine with all of the things where you've like heard of him helping and being so many places, like Jesus, how is he not tired? But it's that thing where he's like moving on momentum to the point where it's like he didn't even realize he's moving on momentum. He's just like you manage to catch up to him as he's in the like he's actually in the process of helping like milk cattle at this point. Like he's like he's like hmm? He's like, oh shush, shush, how are
Yes,
you? He's like,
good. Here, I have a proposal I want to do, and I want to get this quick because I know you're a very busy individual. I don't want to take too much time, but we're wanting to do a gun run thing where uh, Elgas is going to make them, then we'll distribute them to Isaac.
Everyone!
Well, eventually it'll go to Isaac, and then Isaac will take it to somewhere, the space station thing, which then will get distributed to the paper leaf tree trading company, and then it'll go everywhere.
he kind of looks at you, hmm. And he goes, selling weapons under the radar, under the noses of the other governmental organizations. Yes, I would love that. He goes, I'm gonna go ahead and give this an approval, but make sure that the security on this operation is tight. Isig's a criminal under a criminal element, and the Paper Leaf Tea Trading Company. This will be the first time we've had specific anything specific to do with them. If they can keep it under wraps on their end, and we can keep security tight on our end, that'd be. I'm pretty sure Zai would be down for the caper. I'm gonna sign off on it, but we won't. But there will be no official paperwork, considering that this is working off of the books.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, I'm pretty sure that T Paper Leaf Tree, what that company, I think they don't want it to be front headline news of what their distributions is. So I think we'll be fine on that end.
It's like he kind of nods, and he's like, "You given any more thought to the? You given any more thought to the mission to go find out what's going on with the Strix?"
Don't recall that.
Well,
Um,
well, it's like this: the Strix have holed themselves up in their own little city, and they won't have any conversations or trade with anybody. It was part of the original charter with the king that they were allowed to have their own autonomy as long as they maintained open diplomatic channels and trade. That hasn't been the case.
so we have to go down there and force them to follow the original agreement or
At least find out
modify
why.
it. Okay.
Our first step would be to find out why they're not. From there we can figure out how. From there, if you can get them to open up, that's exactly what we'd need to happen. But for the but the specific parameters of your mission, of the mission, would be to find out what exactly it is, why they're not communicating, what exactly happened there. Their civilian leadership when we landed on this planet was amenable. There was a few months where we did have open communication and some trade, but they closed themselves off, and we need to know what happened. It was there.
It could be something they haven't done intentionally and something could happen. Alright, that'll be our next step. But first, we'll go let.
Be worth a lot if you also be worth a lot if you could eliminate PV and company. As my last I heard, King Zai was a little bit more was more than a little pissed off about their legal filings for claim of the planet.
Right. Okay.
The last time you guys met PV and company, they fucking shot at you. They shot one of you.
They shot AL. That's who they shot.
Yeah, they shot
Yeah.
AL right in the middle of the conversation. Yep.
You spoke out of turn.
Yeah. We might wait on that one, but yeah, we'll get around to it.
He goes, also, other things it could be that we need done around here is if you could find out who it is that's taking the scrap from the battle, who's smuggling off a world back to the corporations. In fact, we've been hearing that some of the gold and Jesuit's been parceled off to head back to the corporations. We need to know who's behind it, and we need them brought in.
You think they need guns too?
I hope. I'm pretty sure they don't need guns, but I'm pretty sure they have plenty of guns, and I would rather they didn't. In fact, you might rather they didn't. We'll want the smugglers back for a trial. But between you and me, I'm fairly certain that there won't be a lot of eyebrows raised if they don't wind up coming back alive either. Personally, I want them back alive. We need to show that this world is going. We need to show the world. We need to show the citizens of this world and the worlds, any other worlds that we happen to do business with, that we're not just some lawless planet full of psychotic murderers like they think we are. That there is a system of justice in place, and that we do treat our prisoners humanely.
And all the prisoners get guns?
No, prisoners don't get guns. He goes, and he kind of like looks at you, Chess, and is like, and looks back at you, Ale, and is like, I think I like you better when you're self-narrating. And he just goes,
Just laughs.
he just goes, he goes, anyway, those are 3 things I need done. I know you're under no obligation to take any of these jobs, but they'll pay. We'll pay what we can for any of these you are able to take care of. I believe he says, but I know that as spacefarers, you may have other offers that you need to take care of. If you're going to take on any of these, well, just let me know. He just finishes it like he finishes a bucket and pulls it over to the side and grabs it, and he goes, and that's bucket number 5. You there's a not long picks up his stool, sets it over on the other side of the fence, and grabs the bucket of milk, and he's like, I gotta drop this off, and then I've gotta and then I gotta go sit in on a reading. There's a actual live theater group. Yeah, go figure. They're building a stage. A theater group, community theater. Can you believe it?
Do,
Yeah,
do
that'd be
they
nice for the community.
do
Eh,
they need guns?
no, they don't need guns. He's like, they're, and he just goes, anyway,
We're
they're,
gun.
he's like, well,
You need to stop saying it so much. We're supposed to be secret about this, right?
he's like, anyway, I'm gonna go listen to, the the director wanted me to sit in on a read, listen to them, listen and see what I thought. Yeah. It's like, let Elgas know that we'll let Elgas know to keep to make sure this stays off of the books. But we're this is the kind of thing that this is the kind of thing that yeah, I think we'll send a message as soon as we can because the king will want to hear this. Because um, have to send it personal wise, send a person or group thereof. In any case, is there anything else you need, or
No, at this point we got a lot of stuff lined up that we'll get done. I'm going to talk to him and explain it to him how this is going to go. Then we'll work on one of the billions of other projects to get this planet into working order.
alright. Is oh, by the way, there's a message was dropped and delivered here for you. He goes, stop by my offices and ask and tell them you're there to pick up the message, the Greenfellow message.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, and he kind of like goes and takes the pail of milk to like other people who are getting ready to like process it, what have you, clean it, whatever, bottle it. But yeah, um,
So we'll leave there. We'll go talk to Elgast first.
all right, yeah, it doesn't.
Helgast! Helgast! We 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 need a bunch of guns.
he goes, well, that is kind of what I do.
There's
So
this place, and you guys lost contact with them. I think they need a ton of guns.
He just goes,
no, 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 no,
he's
no,
like,
Gun.
no.
he,
Shh. No. Shush. No. Okay. We're focusing on his guns going to Isaac. That's it.
he goes,
Where they go after that is beyond my care.
he, he nods and he's like, as soon as I have their first order, I'll get started on it.
Okay. But if you do that, no paper trail. We got to keep this tight and secure that no one can follow a paper trail for it. Okay?
Can I try to pick up some weapons and try to sneak it out the door?
I think there's no assembled weapons here in this room. There are like blueprints and there are pieces thereof, but like all the assembled stuff is stored somewhere else.
All right, so I'll
Yeah.
take pieces.
I
She
think
doesn't know any better.
give me a first of all give me a sleight of hand check. All right. And then give me a stealth check. Now give me a perception check. You're about to. You manage to. You manage to pocket a few things that you think fairly sneakily, and you even feel like you're pretty sneaky getting ready to go out the door. And then and then you notice that there are that you notice like by the like security scanners by the door. They're very subtle and discreet, but the moment you walk through that door, it'll scan you, and it probably has scanned all of you every time you've walked through the door at this point already. What exactly it will or won't pick up, you couldn't exactly tell without like getting into the guts of the machine.
Well, Allie thinks it's fine. She's a gun runner. So she's gonna go through it.
There's an alarm that goes off as soon as you go through the door, and Elgas goes, "Put it back." He didn't even turn around to look at you.
just kind of walks back into the room and just dumps it all in one place and just kind of like shuffles out.
He's like, eh, yeah. He just kind of Elgas like shakes his head. You can see it from behind. He's like, um, and but once you guys like leave and what have you, like he's pretty much back involved in his work for the most part.
Yes. Are
Really?
we bad gun runners?
Yeah, but you're not supposed to run the guns yourself. That's their job. We're just transporting information.
So, no guns?
Not you personally, no.
Yeah, and I think
Wait, does Allie look like sad about this?
A little disappointed.
Well, I'll hand Ollie back to Allie.
Perfect.
nice. the
But
Really?
now we have to head to the office of what's his face and get my message.
All right.
Ali, I appreciate the thought, but you're free now. Go.
You get to the office.
Ollie
Yeah, go for it.
Ollie loves you so much that he chooses to stay with you regardless of him being free or not.
Oh, it's okay. I know you're too lazy to walk. Come with me.
There's a you get to the offices, and when you ask for the green fellow, say you're there for the green fellow message, they bring you out like a data chip. It's on here.
Okay, I take the chip and read it. Let's jab it in my head and watch it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you have your comms device.
Oh yeah, put it in that.
All right.
We're good.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing his chest trying to be like, oh, right.
Well, there's what there is a you. I mean, you recognize the name before. Thobus Greenfellow is how the Menagerie got its start. In fact, he's the one that like litigated the your rights to the Menagerie when you guys found it. You know, the halfling lawyer appears like in holographic form above like your above your communicator. He's dressed in his usual nice business suit, although it looks a little bit like he's probably been, working hard in it. There's just a little bit of like maybe it's slightly untucked, like maybe like one of the vest is slightly untucked on one side, and the collar is just the one button down, the tie is a little bit loosened up or what is loosened or whatever, the sleeves are rolled up, Hey, so yeah, I figure you probably ought to know this because it's something that's probably gonna come back and bite all of us in the asses to some extent. But so there's a very powerful individual in the Pact Worlds who works with Arius Teletech. Uh, his name is Riven, Savorus Riven, and yeah, he's been looking into one of the earliest missions you did for me. Trying to, well, he's trying to discredit me specifically. Says, says he's got witnesses that will swear that the Menagerie, working for me, went back and did some witness tampering, intimidated some witnesses all the way back on Akaton. You know that first job you did where you went out into the to find out and you found that missing cargo and got my client off the hook. Yeah, well, apparently they're kind of saying that you intimidated a lot of witnesses and wiped out an entire tribe of goblins that were innocent of any crimes, any wrongdoing. You and I know they
Uh,
were you guys and I. We know they were criminals. We know that there were somebody apparently went back and scrubbed the scene of any of their wrongdoing and illegal. But they left whatever. But they left plenty of physical evidence. You guys were there. Anyway, I figured you probably might want to know this. Next time you go to the Pack Worlds, don't be surprised if if law enforcement doesn't want to talk to you. Probably the stewards. I doubt Akaton local authorities really give a shit. But Savorus Riven will probably have detectives and the stewards looking into it. Just, tell them the truth, give them everything you got on them, and at this point, as far as we can tell, it's our word versus theirs for the most part. If Akaton legal authorities aren't willing to press charges, they'll have to find some way to get it under the Pact World's jurisdiction. It'll be a tricky fight for them, but it'll be a tricky fight. They got some of the best lawyers I've ever seen signed to the team, though. Oh yeah, and the well, maybe we'll save the rest for another day. Anyway, I hope this finds you well and making profit the best you can. Thobus out. This is he says, love to see you next time we manage to cross paths. I'm busy in the Marixa Republic at the moment. Probably going to be heading to the Gitaron Authority next. Maybe our paths will cross. Be careful out there. And then it flickers off.
well, is Oliver's room still intact before he left and doesn't have anything in there from that first mission? We need to check that.
Well,
Eh,
Is this
eventually.
the kind of information we run?
Well, yeah, the goblins were drug dealers, so we killed them all. And they had slaves down there too making the drugs, and so we killed them all.
I don't remember this. I don't think I was there.
yeah,
No,
the
I don't think you were either.
the goblins weren't making drugs. They were more of a street gang, and they were slavers, though, or at least there was evidence that they had been slavers. But apparently, whoever came around had scrubbed that out, had gotten rid of that.
But I made some nice friends on the planet. I remember that.
Yeah, you made friends with one of the isekai gang leaders.
Yeah. That's what I was busy doing during that whole thing.
The drug dealers was a different mission, but it was, you know, there.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
Oh. Well, I know they were doing some naughty stuff, so we killed them.
Yeah.
But if we ever run into things in the packed worlds, and we'll just be truthful and honest, and most of the people that are on this ship now don't recall any of it but me. So I think we'll be fine.
Right on. Yeah. Um.
So, what should we do next? Go have fun with the Strix? That sounds like fun. Let's go try to get them to do what they're supposed to do.
Alright.
Get them to trade or something? I don't know. Let's go talk to them. Find
E
them.
E9, you
Mm-hmm.
are seeing a lot of posters up for not a lot, but a significant enough amount of posters for like from the Requiem. And it's
Mm.
before like it, and it's like there's some slogan on there about um, live the dream before it becomes a nightmare,
Ooh.
kind of stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like there's like a stylized, picture of a SRO, um, sort of like of a group of SROs and androids standing side by side, looking upwards, at looking and reaching upwards, and whatnot. Um, but they're like, and maybe like you see a few of these posters here and there, and but there's no specific directions given about like what to do or where to go with this. This is, there's um, it's propaganda material that's obviously meant to generate sympathy, or or at least let people like SROs and androids and synthetic life forms know that this is a thing that's going on in existence.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like it's that thing where it's like, we're not advertising where we're at. If you want to be a part of this, if you are one of us and you're looking for us, we'll find you. But if you're somebody else, fuck off. If you're not a synthetic life form, we no need for you. They're not going to give up. They're not going to tell organic life forms where to purely organic life forms where to find them.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay. Yeah. Eternity Nine will be spending or will be paying much attention to these posters, and I don't has Eternity Nine seen this much like marketing for the religion before, like, or is this abnormal, or is this like the
This is
standard?
this is actually something that like you have started to notice. Like you noticed a
Mm-hmm.
few of these in the packed worlds, but like anywhere you saw them on the Absalom station, like
Mm-hmm.
law enforcement authorities were like taking them down.
Mm.
You might have seen a couple of posters here and there, like in Pluvo City, back on Pluvo. But again, these were met a little bit more mixed. I mean, it wasn't quite the same as like Absalom Station, where they're like the security forces are just like on top of it. You
Mm-hmm.
did see a few of them being taken down here and there by law enforcement, but you
Mm-hmm.
also saw plenty of them that were just sitting there on that were just sort of like on the wall that like um hadn't been disturbed. Some had been graffitied on, some had been like whatnot. There's one that was on like one of the back alleys that was posted up, and somebody had like graffitied next to it, organic filth go home, or organic
Mm.
filth die, stuff like that. Um, so there was a very like um, there was a very like hostile attitude
Mm-hmm.
in a couple of places. the propaganda, the post propaganda posters themselves seem very uplifting for your kind of people, for synthetics, without
Mm-hmm.
like really necessarily saying anything negative about the organics. But some of the graffiti and sentiment that's been around them has gone from either the, sort of, you can't be putting this up here, this is too, too much, this is divisive, to, you know haha, yes, I saw this poster, I agree, organic people are filth and we need to just be by ourselves. So there's a lot of attitude, like you're starting to see varying attitude on one degree or another,
Mm-hmm.
about this. People have opinions on it already.
I mean, to Eternity Nine, that's a good thing because before uh Requiem is treated like a joke
Right.
basically, um, and now it's starting to become clear that people are starting to take Requiem more seriously,
Yep.
and whether the opinions are positive or negative, the fact that it's being taken seriously at all is a good thing to Eternity.
Yeah. Like I say, yeah. And there's, like, you're pretty aware that this is one of those deals where it's like, maybe some of the girls are good, but we're attracting some people that may or may not be good for us as a
Hmm.
whole. um, so that's kind of where you're kind of seeing this sort of start to play in. Um,
Uh, Out of character.
yeah.
Are you familiar with the current era of X-Men?
Yes,
In the
to a
comic?
large degree, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I
So
haven't
that's
been reading it, but I've been catching up in videos on YouTube and
mhm.
the like.
Yeah. So that's basically like my idea going for or when I created this character.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah. And yeah. So that's like and because of that, like E9's not necessarily against the idea of exclusively synthetic life forms.
right.
Uh, right. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I get that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, but yeah, you're kind of seeing more and more of this. You're seeing a lot of like, people kind of, and you're hearing on broadcast like things on like newscasts here and there, like, like reports about like this, that, or the other, but that's making the rounds. However, there are some psychologists that have made like some of the like really really like low end talk shows that are talking about like this sort of, that are talking about this, and like, is it good for, like, to have this sort of exclusivity, this sort of, whatever, debating on, well, I don't think that's what the, polemic was all about. I don't think that this, that this was about racism. I think it was about freedom. And then others that were
Hmm.
like, look, even though we have all these rights, that's not true everywhere. And even in the most civilized of ports, we're still, so there's some like talking heads, like low end talk show talking heads that are discussing this, but it hasn't made like mainstream yet.
Gotcha.
Um, but and maybe you're kind of seeing like some reports here, like the news here is like old. Like much of the news you're seeing on Patella is news that you had seen right before you left at on before you'd left Absalom Station, which is why it's interesting that it's made it thus far to Patella, especially
Hmm.
being that Patella is gaining a reputation as being super egalitarian. Like, we don't give a fuck what race you are. We don't give a fuck if you're synthetic, if you're organic. We don't give a fuck who you are. Just come here, hang out, be a peaceful citizen, and we're good with it. Especially if you don't get along with other members of your own race, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So for this sort of like divisiveness to shown up here, and this currently is kind of a interesting note in and of itself.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. That definitely makes sense.
Hmm.
Um. But yeah, Eternity 9 sees all of this as a good thing. Even if it's not necessarily a good thing, Eternity 9 certainly reads it that way.
Right on. Cool. Well, we are at 2:36 my time, and I believe, being that we're at Patella, you guys were gonna you had decided your next move was to go try to find out what's going on with the Strix. Then is that what I'm reading, or did you guys have a bigger discussion you needed to have about this?
No, our next objective would be dealing with the Strix
All
and
right,
going that path. Yeah.
all right.
That's what
Well,
our captain said.
alrighty. So at this point, let me see here. What do I got? I gotta find it here real quick because I'm gonna. Let's go ahead and wrap up and start kind of doing the sign offs.
Mhm.
You guys mail me your players' choice votes, and we'll do some XP. And who wants to start us off tonight?
I'll go. Hey everyone, this is Alistair. I wasn't in this one, but we saw some interesting stuff. Allie kind of acted out of character. A little worried about that. I'll have to check
Mm-hmm.
the logs in my brain to see how that's going. Anyway, you can catch JGW Voice at JGW Voice on Twitter. You can also catch us at Rogue Grey Fox at Facebook every Monday. I hang out with some voice actor friends. We do some practices. We read some comics. Yeah, we just have an overall good time. And then you can catch me here every Friday as a L. Anyway, till next time, guys.
Alrighty. Who wants to go next?
I can.
All right.
Hello, I'm Varun. You may know me as Eternity 9 here on the Menagerie. Um, in this episode, Eternity Nine's view of diaspora has shifted with new information regarding how slaves are treated in the outer worlds and how Requiem is treated. Um, Overall attitudes towards Requiem. Uh, the question is, how will Eternity react to this going forward? Um, but yeah, you can catch me on the Ballad of Menagerie every Friday at the same time.
All right. Awesome. Well, and that takes us to Captain Chess Murgle.
Alright, I'm Scott. I played chess. I try to be a good captain, but chess is kind of weird. But hey, we're making progress and making things better. We're trying. Making money. Whatever. Okay, so what else am I in? So every other Saturday, and if memory serves me right, it's tomorrow. We have Bitter Ends, the Apocalypse World thing.
Oh, you dropped out.
Yeah, where I play Castiel. And hello?
I can hear you.
There you are. You just dropped out
Okay.
for a second.
Okay.
Here.
Okay. So I play Castiel on that, and he cannot drive a boat very well, and went into a storm, and now we're in some sort of weird place. Then on Sunday we got Cosmos, where I play Figaro, who just listens to stories. I also play Anduin, who is in a weird dream state to save somebody's mind. I don't know. Weird. Then on Monday, we have Fire Strike, where I play Xander. And I don't know. The library blew up and I survived, so that's good. Time to go back to research. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay, Tuesday we got the Beyond, where I play a character. No name. That is his name. No name. We were in a village, we fought, we had fun. and then No Name almost died. So he's laying on the ground at the moment. And then Wednesday I got Hinch to Minch where I play Knight, and oh, it's all weird and funkily, but it's a really fun thing. Y'all should watch it. Then Thursday, like every other Thursday, we have the new Amsterdam thing. Fireplace Fat. It's kind of fun, and that's everything. I don't know much.
All right. Well, that brings it back to me, and we'll take care of the bookkeeping first. Everybody, give yourself 1,000 experience points,
A
and then,
thousand.
hmm
Ooh.
and then AL, go ahead and give yourself another 200. You won player's choice.
Okay, cool. Thanks,
So
guys.
nice. Right on. Cool. And with that said, let me do this right. With that said, I am Najesta King Zarat, and you can catch me here on Monday nights for Fire Strike. We are going into our final season. However, it's a big final season. It's 50 episode long final season because we don't do what they do on TV. We don't take that last season and shorten it down and make it all tiny. No, we take it and we blow it the fuck up and we make it double the length of a normal season. And there will be a campaign after the fire strike. So, don't panic, don't worry. But until such time, Fire Strike Monday nights, check it out. It's about to get batshit bonkers crazy starting Monday night because holy shit, do I have some plans. You can also catch me here on Friday nights for the Ballad of the Menagerie. Uh, hey, you know what? If all of the big guns are out there and they're too busy and you can't afford them anyway, hey, the Menagerie's there. They're available. They do things. They get things done. You can also catch me here every other Saturday night, much like tomorrow night, for the Bitter Ends, our Wave World sessions. It's a little like Waterworld, only with significantly less misogyny. Or you can catch me on Sundays, maybe not this Sunday because they're dealing with a group where I don't have a character in just now, but the Sunday afterwards, for certain, with Tales from the Cosmos, where I play Squin, the daring doer, the doer of daring and the daring of doing, the darer of doing. Um, a goblin swashbuckler. Um, Lots of fun to be mined there, I'm sure. He's still trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and he kind of ran off very barely prepared to try to rescue people. Um, and now he's facing an army of Bobs. I still hate that name. But let's see. Is there anything else I got going on? Oh, wait, hold on. Let's do the social media stuff. Let's do all the media. If you are watching on Twitch and you want to go back and you want to watch and you want to rewatch and you want to be like, oh, I gotta check that, you know what, I gotta play that little crazy little joke or interaction for my buddy, or you know, maybe you just need some background noise. You can watch us again on YouTube at Paradise Theater. If you are watching on YouTube and you're like, man, I really got to see this when it's live and I don't know what's going to happen next and Uncle Bob can't spoil this for me, damn you, Bob. You can catch us on Twitch at Paradise Theater with an underscore between each word. You can also, if you are, I don't know, if you're looking for some community interactions, some scheduling updates, some, riling of the feathers of, Twitter accounts that are already beefing. Apparently, I don't have as much to do there. You can also get, or if you're just looking for some, I don't know, some memes of some type of variety.
The hot names!
That kind. You can catch us at Pear Theater on Twitter. With that said, I do believe that's all we got for you tonight. So let's say goodbye and get out of here. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Oh wait, I'm the one that has to hit the stop button. Goodbye. Goodbye.